These are a band of litigious grievance mongers who are enabled by a White House that sides with them and not with vigilant Americans. And if, in effect, what you have is a very chilling response from CARE. It's not see something, say something. It's see something, say nothing, and do nothing. And I think it behooves anybody who is going to cover these CARE press conferences to recite and memorize their entire history of cracking down on people who have spoken out against radical jihadists. This is especially true in ISIS breeding grounds like Minnesota, where truly moderate Muslims have been demonized and witch hunted by the likes of CARE for calling attention to, for example, the jihadists who plotted the mall bombings in Africa and who have been at the forefront of trying to make sure that al-Shabaab is not infiltrating their communities.
Exactly. You also touched upon, because I saw you and Reason both, you had tweeted out a piece that you wrote about a year or so, a couple of years ago, about the go-fly zone, rather, because everyone was saying, well, look, CARE has sued over that no-fly list, as though there was some kinsmanship there, which seemed a little odd. Well, CARE wanted to bring like actual terror suspect Muslims. They wanted them off the list, and you gave a laundry list of examples of just how many times, you know, the go-fly list is actually, it's missed so much.
Yeah, that's the true loophole. You know, there you have Obama in his nighttime press conference over the weekend yammering about the no-fly loophole when it comes to guns, but we have much bigger problems. And in fact, all of these watch lists suffer from both false positives and then missed true positives. And this has been true since 5 years ago. I mean, we're going to mark the 5-year anniversary of the underwear bombing incident. And I zeroed in on the fact that it was the State Department that fell through there. And there are many cases where known or suspected terrorists were left off those watch lists, or they were on the watch list and they were allowed to fly, which is why I called it the go-fly list. And you've had CARE, which has been obstructionist every step of the way that the FBI and Homeland Security officials have tried to encompass, yes, politically incorrect, but absolutely necessary criteria when it comes to behavioral and security profiling. And this is what I'm getting at when you see this dangerous overreaction to the things that Donald Trump is saying, because what they're basically doing is trying to marginalize and render completely ineffective those very narrowly targeted programs, whether it's the NSEERS program under the Bush administration that registered Muslim travelers who were coming from jihadi-friendly and jihadi-sponsoring countries, to asking people at the border whether they have relatives who consider themselves martyrs or who have ever been tied to any terrorist organization. Even that's beyond the pale, and people are screaming that this is tantamount to rounding up all Muslims. If you can't do even these limited measures at a time when we're going to face much larger attacks than the ones we've seen in San Bernardino or even on 9/11 or the ones we saw in Paris and London, it's going to take far more extreme measures after the fact, and we don't want these hindsight hypocrites to have to prevent us from taking necessary measures now to prevent these larger catastrophic attacks.